I'm just the elephant in the room. What's your best excuse? I'm just the elephant in the room. Do you really wanna be the one to make this so uncomfortable tonight? When you could be the one to set the record straight, you think it's not the perfect time. I wish I could be the one to make it easy, but I remind you that you're gonna hurt some feelings. So you slide around the issues and little, heaven forbid you gotta dirty up the halo. So I'm not gonna let this go. Don't know what you're waiting for. I'm not gonna let you go. So I'm just the elephant in the room. What's your best excuse? I'm just the elephant in the room. Better think this through. You don't wanna talk about your feelings. I'll be in the corner with the reason. I'm just the elephant. I'm just the elephant in the room. Secret that you can't forget and keep back in your mind. So when people ask what's wrong with you, you can't explain what's killing you.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Elephant in the Room. We've been really busy here lately with a lot of different projects going on. We just had a great Chopping It Up too. And we also have been at different city council meetings, but the county's been having a lot of things going as well, as we have seen here. And we have a new 7th member of the council in David Ennis, and well, let's take a look at that.
Next on the agenda is resolution number 77-2025. This is appointing a nominee to the Wacomico County Council District 3 seat currently vacant.
Entertain a motion from council to approve resolution 77-2025.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you, Shani. Opposed? Resolution 77-2025 passes unanimously.
This is the swearing in of the new District 3 Council representative by Mr. Bo McAllister, Clerk of Circuit Court.
Yes, we should have mentioned that that the nominee was Mr. David Ennis. Dave, congratulations. We're glad to have you here. I know you've served on the county council before. We're looking forward to having you work with us again for this next year and a half. And we have Mr. Bo McAllister here to swear you in, if we could. I guess by the podium would be the best location. Yeah, thank you.
That's kind of funny.
And his wife Bonnie Ennis is here. Bonnie, how are you? Board of Education. Yes, sir.
Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, David Ennis,
Do swear and affirm
do swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of
Wacomico County Council,
Member for District 3,
member for District 3,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state.
according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
Great job.
Thank you.
All right. Now it's a full house. Yeah. Let's do it.
Thank you very much, Bill. Dave?
James, good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Josh, thank you very much.
We're back.
Okay.
So congratulations to Mr. Ennis on his new appointment. We also had other things going on there where we had another confirmation going on, and it got a little confusing. Well, we had two applicants for the Deputy Director of Administration, and we were actually having a confirmation hearing for two different people, and even legal was a little bit confused. Just watch this.
8-2025. This is confirming the appointment of Stephen S. Lakin as Assistant Director of Administration.
Entertain a motion from council to approve resolution number 78, 2025.
To move.
Second.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion. All those in favor of resolution 78, 2025, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed. Opposed.
Resolution 78, 2025 passes by a 5-2 vote.
Okay, next is
I would like to congratulate Mr. Stephen Lakin as our new Assistant Director of Administration for Wycomico County. I don't see him here today. That's okay. Yes.
Next is resolution number 79-2025. This is confirming the appointment of Benjamin Jordan as Assistant Director of Administration.
Entertain a motion from council to approve resolution 79, 2025.
To move.
Second.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? One comment I will make is that this is sort of an unprecedented set of circumstances that the council is in right now. You might be wondering, why we're voting on two different applicants after we've already voted for one, and we already at this point in time have a Deputy Assistant Director of Administration. In this situation, the executive presented the county council with two applicants, one for one position only. As that's been done, the council then has the obligation to put both candidates on the agenda, and we have to vote. We don't want to give the perception that the council or the council president is dictating what may or may not go on the agenda. One submittal would have been fine, since two submittals were requested. Two submittals were put on the agenda, and two submittals were discussed. So the council has interviewed both candidates in closed work session to protect their privacy, and has come to an informal consensus in regard to our final decision. But we do not do that unless we do not do a final determination unless it is in open legislation for the public. So I'm just making that clarification for those that are following very closely. Yes, Josh.
I just want to add, or sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
I just want to say it's great to be able to have two great candidates in your, coin flip of an options we've got. It's great to have more folks coming to want to work to the county to actually, continue to improve it and make it better. And it's great to have some really good options, and especially Mr. Jordan, who's just going to continue to be a shining star and a real leader for a very long time to come in Wycomico County. So just wanted to.
Yeah, I think I can speak for the council when I say the council as a body really has a lot of respect for Mr. Jordan and the great job he's doing as mayor and as an individual. So I think that's unequivocal. Any other comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of resolution 79, 2025, say aye.
Aye. I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
You can't confirm Mr. Jordan. You've already confirmed somebody else.
I know, but we do have, I know, and I've explained that to the council members independently, but we do have to take a vote. And we understand that Mr. Lakin has already been appointed, but we're just simply going through a procedure.
No, but they voted aye, which is you're confirming him.
I understand. I've had that discussion with independent council members. I do recognize that.
You're confirming both Mr. Jordan and Mr. Lakin?
Well,
We had two votes, correct?
we have to,
You have to turn Mr. Jordan down,
I recognize that, Bob. I understand that.
but that's not what they just did.
Well, we haven't finished the vote yet.
Okay.
So this is resolution 79 confirming the appointment of Benjamin Jordan. So we'll do a roll call on this just to make sure that we're specifically understand where we are with this. Joe?
Hey.
Aye.
Shaney?
Nay.
Dave?
Nay.
Jeff?
Nay.
Chair votes nay. So resolution 79, 2025 fails by a vote of 5-2. Thank you, Mr. Benson. Mrs. Hurley?
Okay, next for
I'm doing my homework. This was considered to be a work session, so I'm trying to see what's the difference between a regular council meeting and a work session, where we did have some confirmations going on, but then I guess they voted on whether or not they're going to put on the agenda the talk about this committee. Okay, it's an allowance committee, and there's been some opposition that even the council has gotten from it, and seems like not everybody's happy with the selection. They said there was 13 names that were that applied, and 11 of them made the board with 2 alternates. Well, let's just look a little bit more at this.
Mrs. Hurley?
Okay, next for your consideration is Resolution Number 80-2025. This is appointing the Compensation and Allowance Commission.
Entertain a motion from council to approve Resolution 80-2025.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion?
Yeah.
Might note that there was some concern over the appointments that we were making. Actually, I believe we received 13 requests, and so all 13 requests have been recognized. 11 of those members will be on the commission, and 2 of those will serve as alternates. Any other discussion? All those in favor of Resolution 80-2025, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Motion's carried. Resolution passes unanimously.
Okay, so before we close out, we want to go to the comments where we will have public and hear some from the council. Again, let's just keep in mind that this is a work session, but the first Monday of the month at 6 o'clock will be the council meeting. You need to be there. We need to be there. Why? Because there's so much stuff going on. But let's just listen to the comments. Let's see what the public has to say about this open work session, if you will, and let's hear what some of the council has to say. Oh, and as a plus, we'll also hear from our county executive. Here we are.
Julie Giordano, County Executive. I wanted to comment on Legislative Bill 2025-08. I want to take a moment to remind this County Council of November 5th, 2024, the day that Question A failed. For those who may have forgotten, Question A proposed eliminating the executive branch of government and reverting to the council form of government. The voters of Wacomico County spoke loud and clear, and they do not want the council to be the sole governing authority. What I don't believe they anticipated was that despite that clear message, this council would seek to circumvent the will of the people, using legislation to chip away at the inherent authority of the executive as outlined in our charter. This is not only a blatant disregard for the voice of our constituents, but it constitutes an abuse of power and a dangerous backdoor erosion of the balance of government. I want to thank the Department of Law for your detailed and well-reasoned review of Legislative Bill 2025-08. I want to express my full agreement with your conclusion that the bill is in direct conflict with the Wacomico County Charter, egregiously oversteps the council's authority, and if enacted, would have deeply negative consequences for how we do business here in the county. I sent this council numerous concerns from several departments outlining the negative impact this bill would have on their department. And it is particularly disappointing that this county council chose to introduce this legislation without first holding a public work session. A bill of this magnitude impacting procurement authority, employee conduct, and vendor relationships warranted thoughtful discussion and interbranch collaboration. This should have been an opportunity to gather input from all departments, legal counsel, and the executive branch to ensure any proposal was lawful, workable, and fair. And instead, this was rushed into introduction, sidelining open dialogue in favor of a unilateral action that risks serious consequences. And I also want to address the extremely harsh and punitive language in paragraph 7, criminalizing internal administrative decisions, threatening employees and officials with fines and removal, and making them personally liable for payments, many of which may fall into a vague and undefined category of professional services, is not just excessive, it's demoralizing and destructive. This language lacks balance, professionalism, and any sense of proportionality. This approach undermines employee confidence and makes it far difficult to recruit and retain qualified individuals. I do, however, appreciate that the council acknowledged that this legislation is not appropriate for our sheriff's office and state's attorney's office. That recognition is important. However, I respectfully remind this council that every department within the county is vital. From environmental health to emergency services to IT to finance, all deserve the same respect and professional courtesy. No department operates in isolation, and every one of them relies on professional services to deliver critical work to the residents of Wacomico County in a timely manner. And we do not work once every 2 weeks. We operate daily and therefore need to be able to construct business daily. I will finish in just 1 second. This bill as written will only delay operations, increase legal exposure, and drive up costs due to fewer vendors willing to engage with us under these restrictive and hostile conditions. And I urge this council to withdraw this legislation, or at a minimum, return to the table for a full and public work session that allows for transparent input and collaboration. If withdrawal of this legislation will not be considered, I am respectfully asking the council to consider 4 amendments. The first is to allow county departments to continue utilizing professional services with appropriate oversight from our finance department, purchasing, and the executive office. This is the same professional courtesy that was extended to our sheriff's office and the state's attorney. The second is to require only the executive office come to this council with a resolution for professional services, rather than burdening all the departments. And the third is to permit department heads to submit a quarterly report to the council listing the professional services or vendors that they use, the scope of work, and associated costs for informational purposes. They would also make themselves available to address any questions or concerns this council may have. And the last is to remove paragraph 7 in its entirety. Threatening employees with criminal charges, fines, termination, or elected officials with removal over undefined violations is not only beyond the authority of this legislative body, it is an egregious overreach and a clear abuse of power through legislation. There are far better ways to go about this, ways that do not sacrifice our charter, our employees, or our ability to govern efficiently.
Thank you. If you could supply that prepared statement to Mrs.
Sure.
Hurley, that'd be great. Thank you.
Do you want to just email? Oh, sure.
Any of the public comments? You can, Ms. Hurley.
Okay.
Thanks. Yes, sir.
Welcome, Mr. Ennis.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jim Atkins, Wacomico County. I don't know where to start. So, I'm not mad at you. I'm not disappointed in you. I'm just thoroughly confused. We've been down this road once, and I guess once wasn't enough, so we'll go down it again. We have now confirmed an assistant director of administration does not live in the county. One of the major things that the county executive continues to talk about is secession. Well, the assistant director of administration can't succeed the director of administration if necessary because they don't live in the county, per the charter. So, second time the council has done this. Don't really know why. The other thing, which is a little disappointing, is during the budget session, the director of administration and the county executive, when questioned by the council regarding the chief of EMS, that by defunding that new position, that the assistant director of administration would be able to handle that job. They both sat here and told the council that. I don't believe the assistant director of administration has any EMS experience. So how is he going to coordinate and operate the SWOT analysis and determine where EMS is needed in this county? So what are we going to do with the SWOT analysis now? Are we going to have one? Are we going to have countywide EMS? What are we going to do? Because we filled the position that was going to determine how the SWOT analysis would work with somebody who has no experience with EMS and SWOT analysis. So just confused, disappointed, and I'll let it go. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Atkins.
Good afternoon. I guess it's that. Robert Taylor, County resident and Salisbury resident too. I stood here at the podium last night and I said that the city council was the greatest show on earth. I may have been mistaken. I came to a county council meeting and it looked like a food fight broke out about 5 or 6 minutes ago. I wasn't aware of that ordinance. I hadn't looked at it about the professional services, but kind of scanning it over, I don't see anything that's wrong with it. I did hear the comment made it violates the charter. I think that's probably the provision of the charter that says the council can't tell the executive branch what to do, or words to that effect. I don't think that's the case. I graduated from law school 55 years ago. I think I can still read the law pretty well. But be that as it may, I also heard the comment made that she thanked you all for saying that it doesn't apply to the state's attorney's office, and I think somewhere else. Well, those aren't departments of the county legally. I know in the budget they're listed as departments because we fund them. The county funds them, but they're not true departments, so you don't have administrative authority over them. But anyway, I'll take a look at that. Has some good sound to it. I did come to make a couple other comments. One on the new planning commission. I made the same recommendation to the city, and that is that they try to endeavor, not required, but endeavor to appoint a wide variety of people. And let me be a little bit more specific. The current commission, a lot of people object to it, including me, because it's been so overloaded to the Greater Salisbury Committee, which has a definite agenda. And it's not really an independent commission. Hasn't been for years, unfortunately. Try to avoid that. Try to get people from a wide variety, geographically, politically, what have you, and avoid having a concentration. And that concentration also goes to the development industry. And that was another problem with our existing, because many of those same people who are affiliated with the Greater Salisbury Committee are also actively involved in development. So it's not truly independent. The other thing is, is it still on the agenda, the work session for the sewer and water?
Yes.
Well, just a couple comments on that. I think you'd be wise to take a look at the plan that George Milan Bureau did about 3 or 4 years ago. 2 reasons. Make sure you want to stay with the plan geographically. And secondly, the costs have increased significantly. I'm told probably at least a third, maybe 40% of what they were putting in. What was that? Probably about 4 years ago, they did their cost analysis. So those are a couple things I think you should do on this, as well as whatever else you're going to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Any other public comments?
Good morning. I don't know if it's still morning. My name is Monica Brooks. I'm a resident of Wicomico County. And so just a couple of quick things in the spirit of the health department having been here today. I did want to just kind of give the county a couple of things to encourage our health department, which I'm sending in them my own emails, to push forward. One of the things, and I don't know their purview in this, but helping get healthier options in our schools for the kids, the food. It's awful. If you don't know, just go and take a look at your typical lunch options. It's really not healthy at all. I know that I was listening to the statistics even before I got here about the data about the health concerns and things, but we want to start with our kids. Want to encourage, and this is not just for the health department, it's just kind of Parks and Rec, a little bit of Health Department, but increasing our tree canopies so that the kids can be at play in more areas, making sure there are water fountains in all of our parks, not the ones, I know the ones that you all have control over in Wacomico. And I did mention this, and I apologize, President Cannon, he asked me to provide him with some street names when I talked about some sidewalks and things like that, but which I will do. But if we could possibly get some walking trails that are not, they're the trails that go through the woods, but if we could possibly get something that's on sidewalk-ish on the west side, that would be also a great incentive for people to be healthier. We have 2 health clinics one new health clinic that will be coming on the west side to help with some of those issues of health concerns. But if we can encourage people to live healthier lives, get outside more, that would be fantastic. The last thing I did want to mention in regards to the wells. I've been pushing through the state for years trying to get well testing mandatory through our state. There is no mandatory well testing, and everyone who gets a well tested usually has to pay for it. But perhaps there could be something that can assist people. Of course, we know that many of our neighbors are still suffering from the contamination of the PFAS from Purdue. There was a contamination on this side from the RV park, PFAS as well, but we don't have any mandatory well testing. So I just kind of want to put a bug in you all's ear. I don't know if that's something we could do through the county or if that's something that only has to come through the state. So thank you so much for your time, and welcome, Mr. Ennis.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Brooks. Any other public comments? Seeing none, that concludes public comments. Council comments.
Sure.
Joe?
I guess I'll respond to the county executive's comments. We've had concerns about some of the money being spent. If you go into Open Checkbook, you'll see that she's been hiring a consultant that was supposedly, I thought, at one point in time, just doing work for one department, and then seems like it's going to other departments. I think that was what progressed this to be put on the agenda. She has herself, she has a director of administration, she has an assistant director of administration now, and she had one that was hired. And then to be having to hire another consultant to basically help run the county, I think became a concern. She's got many department heads. Most of these people make over $100,000 a year, probably well-deserved. But to have one consultant that is just hired to, really don't know what he did, what he's doing. So I think that's what instigated this. As far as slowing down government, that comment was made, maybe we need to. We've seen up here on the council, we've made some decisions that has been brought to the council. Some of them are decisions, some of them that the executive or some of the departments have brought to the council that we made rash, quick decisions on that we probably should have taken more time. So maybe this will be, this will slow down the actions of government a little bit. So anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you all for being here today and for watching on PAC 14. I just want to say, I guess to the county executive's request there as far as greater clarity on the 2025-08 and maybe a work session. I'm perfectly fine with a work session. Sounds like we want to be thoughtful in how that happens, how this is implemented. But I think we can certainly take our time and make sure that we get it right. But I think the intent is right. But yeah, so I'm happy to see a work session on that, as well as a work session on the Barron Creek Road situation, or maybe I should say Barron Creek Bridge. because I don't think you're going to be able to get any bit of a road in there without it being a bridge, given the amount of water. But I'm not a engineer in any way, but regardless, I do think we need to move the issue up with Barron Creek Road specifically. What are we doing with that? Because it's been around for far too long, and I think we either need to be clear that we're going to spend a whole lot of money, many tens of millions of dollars, or we're going to kill it. But one way or another, I think sitting on the fence for almost a decade now has not been helpful. So I would love to see that come to an understanding and make sure that we can pull all the right folks to the table so that we can actually get some clarity on that, where we're going, what's actually happening, and what's next. And then lastly, I just want to say congrats to Mr. Ennis, sir. Thank you for joining the council, and thank you for your agreeing to participate in service again. So we appreciate it.
I'm good.
Yes, Judge.
I too want to welcome aboard Councilman Ennis. Thank you. School's out. Hope everybody has a safe summer. Last week I had the honor of sticking a shovel in the ground at Fruitland Primary School. So that was exciting. That was a long project to get to that point, and little hiccup in the funding from the state, and it ended up getting worked out, and it just goes to show what happens when everybody works together and moves forward. I do want to say something about the Compensation and Allowance Commission. There was some comments, and we got I got a few text messages and emails. The charter requires that the council put together a commission of 11 people on this. And as was previously stated, we had 13 people apply. We didn't have 40 people apply, and we picked through them and turned a bunch of people down. We had 13 people apply. We have 11 on the committee and 2 alternates. So to the folks that were complaining and questioning, I suggest that maybe next time when the opportunity arises to serve on a commission, you actually apply. That's all I got. Thank you.
Dave, you have any comments?
Yep. I first want to thank the council for the vote of confidence and allowing me to join you. As Mr. Cannon mentioned, I did serve on the council back in 2000, 2001. Seems like ancient history now. That was also by appointment. And just by way of mention, I've served on the Board of Zoning Appeals for the last 30 years, off and on, and also on the Ethics Committee. So since it's baseball season, I think I'm becoming the Wycomico utility player, or designated hitter maybe. But I am looking forward to working with this council, and it seems as though there are many issues. I don't know if this is good timing to join the council or not. But I've committed now, so I'm here, and I'm really happy to be part of this council and look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
I like your old school brief book there.
That's what Ms. Hurley gave me for my first meeting, and I promise I didn't scribble on it, so all good.
Under council comments, I'd like to say I would agree with what's been said earlier, is that the council certainly would look forward to having a work session so that we can truly evaluate legislative bill 2025-08. We understand that there could be some concerns on that. We do feel, with Mr. Benson's help, we feel that it's a very stable document as far as legally concerns might be raised. We feel it has very strong grounding as far as what we're attempting to do. But we've also had a lot of emails from department heads as such. So we want to make sure that, we don't use a shotgun approach, that this bill becomes something that's effective as the council desires, and I think which would benefit the county as a whole, and as well as the citizens of Wycomico County.